Morning. It's Tuesday, November 3rd. It's E-Day, and I don't know what to expect today. I was hoping for a peaceful election, but I think I'm wrong. I think it's not going to be peaceful. Why do I say that? Well, yesterday, law enforcement agencies across the country advised businesses and retailers to take measures to protect their property. And so many of them began boarding up their storefront windows and taking other security measures in anticipation of the potential unrest that was going to happen today. Now, in years past, thoughts like this would never have occurred. But after a summer of widespread riots and mayhem, law enforcement and people in authority are trying to ensure that this election day, as important as it is not marred by madness and injuries and or fatality. That's a horrible thought in this beautiful democratic or once democratic country. I find it hard to imagine, to envision, that just blocks from the White House, barbershops, restaurants, clothing stores, and banks are covered in plywood because the business owners are preparing for a possible repeat of violent riots and looting that occurred in the summer in response to the death of George Floyd. But in this case, I think they're going to be prepared for those who are unhappy with the results of the election. And I don't think it's a one-sided result. I think that no matter who wins, there are going to be angry people on both sides. Now, I'm hoping that really doesn't occur, but I think I'm whistling in the wind. We have seen over the past week political activities on both sides that are upsetting. Buses run off the road because the opposition party was unhappy with them. So who knows what's going to happen? The other problem is that we probably won't have an answer today. We probably won't have an answer tomorrow. If we're lucky, we'll have an answer on Friday. I hope I'm wrong about that because I don't want to hear the whining and the crying in anticipation for the final result, and the threats of people who will still believe that there's a fraud going on, who have been conditioned to believe that the mail-in ballots are fraudulent and they shouldn't exist. My hope is that people remain calm and that they can relax and not get overwrought about what the results might be until the results are actually announced. Now, there are many things at stake in this election. Right now, the number one thing that most people are worrying about is their health. The pandemic has wreaked havoc with this country. It has put people out of work. It has put people in the hospital. It has killed 230 some odd thousand people. So we definitely need an answer and a person in the White House who is prepared to fight the pandemic with all their might. And then in the course of this election campaign, I have seen many people who are afraid of whoever wins because it will affect their daily lives. The people who work in industries like coal and oil are frightened of Biden because he wants a greener world, and they're afraid that their jobs will disappear. And I don't blame those people for being afraid that their jobs will disappear. But there has to be an answer to that problem. We can't really just close up industries without having a plan for those who are going to be affected by it. Now, the elderly in those industries can be probably pensioned off or whatever. But a young man, say a man in his 30s who's been working for 10 years in that industry, what do you do with him if we close up the plant? So the green world is important, but the problems of getting there have to be resolved. We can't have a united nation if there are people that are going to be upset because their future has been destroyed. So these are monumental problems, and we need people in government, people who will be selected by the president to address these issues. We need experts. We don't need a president who knows everything. We need a president who looks for people to help, even if they don't agree with him. People who understand many things that are beyond the economy. We need people who can take the science and make it work for us. We need people who understand the minds of the other nations in this world, who can decide what the proper approach is to our allies and to our enemies. Yes, we want America to be first, but that doesn't mean we want America to be alone. If we've made mistakes in the past with our treaties, we can rectify that. We can correct them. We can enhance them. We can renegotiate. Abandonment is not a good political philosophy. It's not a good diplomatic philosophy. Well, I'm going to quit because they took advantage of us. I don't believe anybody ever really took advantage of us. I think we knew exactly what we were doing, and we felt it was to our advantage to be taken advantage of. So in any event, I hope we have a peaceful election day. And I hope that the results of this election are peaceful also. I don't want to find out that next Saturday morning there's a riot because the wrong man was elected president. So I'll leave you with that on this wonderful election day. And I'll see you in the morning. Bye.